Okay, so someone asked how I got into speedrunning Spyro, and I will tell you the story of that right now. The year was 2012, actually, and I had just started watching GDQ. You know, I had been vaguely familiar with Speed Demo's archive runs of various games throughout the years, like Halo and whatnot. You know, I kind of perused that. I wouldn't say I was like ever much into speedrunning before 2012, and I saw ZFG at GDQ, among other amazing players, Siglemic. And that's where I started getting hip to the idea that people actually speedrun games in one sitting and live stream it. That's when that thought first came into my head, that existed. Now, a year later, you know, with that simmering in my head, a year later, it was my senior year of high school, and I had a real fuck around period at the end of the day that I would always be stoned in. I'd always be stoned in this class, and I'd just be like sitting there just on my phone, and I figure, well, what better use of my time than to, you know, learn the route. You know, it's the last class of the day. I'm just gonna go straight home and procrastinate anyways. Like, I might as well like watch like some runs during this, you know, free period that I'm stuck here at school, and then go home and then practice them. It made sense to me. So I decided, I was like, all right, so let me find a run that I want to learn. And at first I was really thinking, I was deciding between Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time. And I was thinking like, well, I like the movement aspect of Mario 64 more. Ocarina of Time seems like a much more technical and cerebral, you know, game with the pause buffering and different like insane glitches. Even at the time, it was a lot of insane memory corruption, manipulation, craziness. Just think how it is now. But I was like, all right, I think I want to play a game like Mario 64. But, you know, before I hop into Mario, like, what other games are there? Like, you know, I'm about to embark on some kind of journey here. Like, let me pick something. You know, let me look around, see what my options are. So I remember going through like all my PlayStation games, you know, stoned in my head. I remember I was thinking about all the different PlayStation games that I had and played. I was thinking about like Crash Bandicoot. I like looked at some of those. I was like, oh, Crash looks cool. And then I was like, dude, fuck, Spyro 1, Spyro the Dragon. Like, that seems like the perfect speed game. And I was right. After all these years, my initial hunch that Spyro is like one of the best speed games ever, I think it still holds up. I still fully believe that Spyro 1 is like, it's one of the best speed games ever. But I digress. I was like, Spyro 1 seems like a good game to pick. I had just recently finished my third 120% file casually. You know, did my first one when I was a kid, another one when I was like 7 to 9 years old, and a third one when I was like in my adolescence. And I was like, all right, I'm like really familiar with that game. I had like a good starting point, you know, because I'm pretty familiar with the general game. Like I like know what every level is, you know. And I looked up on YouTube, in that classroom, I looked up fucking Spyro 120% speedrun. Or Spyro 100% speedrun, which I then learned it was called 120 or whatever. And that run was by Crash41596. He posted 2 runs on YouTube back in 2012, 2011, which were the basis that a lot of runners at the time learned from. Those runs were a 201 and a 156. I think the one I learned from was from the 201. But yeah, I would watch this YouTube run by Crash, and keep in mind, I'm stoned as shit. I'm in this class with a bunch of loud ass, you know, students around me, teacher just chilling at their desk doing nothing, and I'm just like, you know, trying not to seem stoned, but just like watching my phone, you know, hood on, you know, looking at my phone, and I'm just like, you know, I see them do, I'll never forget seeing them do Dark Hollow. You know, I'd see them do Dark Hollow, and then I would close my eyes at the end of it. You know, pause the video, close my eyes, and then just imagine that whole, like, video that I just watched. Like, again, not every single little gem, but just, like, okay, he goes here, and he goes down to the lower part. This is, like, an old route. He goes down to the lower part, then he comes back up, he opens the key chest, and then he comes back up around, and then once he finishes up that dragon, then he goes around, up the stairs, goes to the left side first. You know, it's actually, Dark Hollow is kind of a tricky level. You have to kind of think your way through the route of that level a little bit. And even though it's not a very large level, it's a tricky level to route. So, you know, I'll just remember so, like, vividly going through in my head, like, oh yeah, like, yeah, you want to go there. And then, yeah, you know, in my head. And, you know, once I was able to do that, you know, imagine the route with my eyes closed. And I'd pause the video, watch like the next section. Maybe on my first day, I got through like Sunny Flight all the way to like through Stone Hill, let's say, on my first day. And then I'd go home and I'd play it. You know, and obviously fuck it up terribly, but just like kind of learn the route. And then, you know, next day I'd do the same thing, you know, and I just did that gradually over the course of my senior year in high school. I think it took me like about a couple months to like get the full route down. Obviously I'd spend time, you know, by the time I started digging into it at home, I'd start learning more of the route just at home and stuff. But I did spend a lot of time in those classes, in that class, just like watching levels that were slipping my mind and like reimagining them with my eyes closed. And yeah. And I remember at the time too, it was crazy because I was in this exact same room that I started in. You know, ever since then, I had like switched rooms throughout my house. But now we're finally back in the original room that I first learned to play Spyro in. And it was actually over, the whole layout of the room was different, but over there was where the TV was, behind that wall. If you imagine, dude, this TV, that one right there is the same TV that I like first learned Spyro on. And I remember sitting there playing it while my cousin from Chile, Tomas, was sitting next to me. He was like staying with us at the time, so he would like game in my room with me. And he would be playing NBA 2K fucking 14 or whatever, and be trying to get a triple-double, and he'd be like, triple-double! While I'm like learning the route and like doing my first few runs, you know, making a Twitch channel and shit. So he was, I'll never forget when me and him were sitting there, I was doing like a run. I was like resetting like a shit ton, right? Like, you know, I didn't know any better. I was resetting a shit ton, and Tomas would like hear the Nestor cutscene over and over. He'd be like, what is this fucking, why do you always watch this? And I'm like, I just have to, you know, speedrun. He's like, he'd be like, what about Nasty Nork? He said that shit in the most like broken Chilean accent. What about Nasty Nork? And so we had like fucking voice act the Nestor cutscene together. That shit, it was like, I'll never forget that. That's like a core speedrunning memory for me. So yeah, my first few runs were like two and a half hours, getting down into the low 2 hours. My first run that was under 2 hours, I think I actually have highlighted on my Twitch channel. That was in, if you imagine that I started speedrunning in like late 2013, I didn't get a sub 2 hour run in 120% until late 2014. November of 2014, which is when that highlight is from. It's my oldest highlight on my Twitch channel. 156. I might have gotten to 159 before that or something, but that's like one of the first runs I was like, all right, I should like save this and, you know, submit it or whatever. So yeah, that's how I got into Speedrunning Spyro. And the same reason I got into it then is the same reason I still play it now. I honestly think it's one of the best speedruns of all time. Best 3D platformer game speedrun. It's got an amazing, I think it hits all of the really nice hallmarks that you want to have in a speedrun. You got the fucking nice dash mechanic. You got the, you know, you're kind of like walking on thin ice with your movement. If you push it too hard, you get fucked. But if you don't push it hard enough, you're kind of going slow. You can always optimize something a little bit more in Spyro. There's all sorts of creative routes you can do and different tricks you can choose to do or choose not to do. There's a lot of yeah, there's a lot of that. Put it on YouTube? Yeah, sure. Hi, YouTube. But yeah, I think Spyro is like the best speedrun ever. For me. The best speed game. Yeah, and the key, one of those key hallmarks is that there is no end. Is that you could always get better. And I believe that at the start, and I believe that now. It's been like almost 9 years. And I still believe that I could get better at Spyro 1 at 120%. Thank you, Roxy. What's up, Demetrius? Yeah, you also get sexier when you speedrun. No, I do that, Shiny Tentacruel. I'm like, what about Nasty Nor? He'll say that shit to me as a meme also. I asked before mid-run, is there any game you'd speedrun any other game the way you've done Spyro? I mean, you know, I'm so deep into Spyro now, I can't really say, like, for sure what other game I could do that's like that. I have games that, like, I think about, like, oh, this would be fun to speedrun. Like, CTR is one of those games. Like, I'd like to get into CTR, but I've tried, you know, and my head is just in Spyro right now, you know. I'll put it this way. I'm gonna have a CTR like story arc later in my speedrunning career, but right now it's all Spyro 1, you know. That's just what it is. Like, when I play CTR, I just feel like, you know, if it's at the end of a day of Spyro runs, it's like the same energy I put into Spyro, I want to put that into CTR, because it's a really also fast-paced, anxiety-inducing game to speedrun. And so I don't like to play games like that once I'm done already doing that in Spyro for the day. So it's not really a sort of game right now that I want to spend a lot of time in, even though I've gotten like the sub 1, you know, I've had a few okay runs. It's something that I really want to wait till I'm ready to move on in Spyro before I like commit to another game like that. It's a real commitment for me, guys. Like, it's not like, it's something I don't take lightly, like learning another speed game. It is something you do have to take slowly, and you have to kind of I've dipped my toes into CTR already, gotten a few, you know, runs, PBs, whatever. But I know that any further I want to take it, I need to like devote more attention to it. Like, and take away from Spyro to do that. And I'm obviously not in any mood to take away from Spyro. I don't think that's what you guys would want, and that's not what I want either, so. My CTR story arc is coming, but you just have to wait. Oh, love this song. Ever played Croc? Yeah, Croc is a fun speed game. I seen Bucci speedrun that. I like that there's like a levitation glitch in that. You know what I'm talking about, Roxy? But one thing I don't like about Croc and a lot of other PS1 platformers is that there's no dash mechanic. I think having a dash mechanic is like very important for a 3D platformer. Like, even if that's just like a long jump in Mario 64, you know, or like, you know, rolling, whatever it is, like the B roll on the ground. Or like in Jak and Daxter, like there's long jumps in Jak and Daxter. Like, those mechanics don't really exist in like more simplistic platformers like Croc. So it leaves like not as much room for improvement and optimization as just like getting better at a game, you know. For me, it makes it less exciting. I do think having a dash mechanic is like an important hallmark of a good, you know, platformer speedrun. Crash 2, like all the Crash games have a dash mechanic. They have like, you know, spin jumping or whatever, slide spinning. I forgot what it's called. But the thing I don't like about Crash Bandicoot, like all the Crash 1 through 3 speedruns, for me, if I were to get into them, is that they're too linear. You know, literally every level is just like straight forward and back or side to side, you know. Which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, for me, I like more open-ended level design. Like in Spyro 1, in Spyro games. Or Jak and Daxter has like more open-ended level design. 17, you mean 14 Talisman. Can I just, like, say real quick, guys, you don't need to suggest any of this to me. Like, I've thought about it. Like, I'm sticking with Spyro. Nothing that you suggest to me is going to be like, oh, yeah, I should run that, you know. I've thought about it, you know, and, like, even if it's something I do want to run, like CTR, I'm not ready yet. I'm just not, like, you can't make me be excited about something that I'm not ready for, you know what I mean? What about glitch movement in Crash 2? Yeah, it's cool. I mean, all of it's cool. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, this sucks, or, you know. It's just, like, not. I am married to Spyro right now. You guys feel me? Like, what do you want me to say? Crash 1 doesn't have a dash, but it does have the wiggle. Like the wiggling mechanic, which functions as a dash, you know. It functions as like a speed tech dash-esque thing. Yeah, speedrun the Dreams Spyro 4. Shouts to Travis the Dragon. Why not Spyro 2 or 3? The mechanics of those games feel a lot different than Spyro 1. To me, they feel a lot like slower and floatier, which isn't a bad thing. It's just not what I'm used to, and it's, you know, I just prefer the way the mechanics of Spyro 1 feel. They are definitely very different. If you were to play, if you guys own all 3 Spyro games, I challenge you to spend 5 minutes playing each game back to back. Like, if you haven't done that, like, do that, because they feel so different. Like you wouldn't have even asked that question if you'd like, you know, played each one like back to back. You'd be like, oh, this feels way different, you know? It's not that Spyro 1's better, it's just it's different, you know? The charge speed feels faster. The movement, you can like charge onto ledges a little bit more easily. You know, Spyro 1's like better in some senses, and it's shittier in other. There's no flutter, there's no double jump, there's no swim. So that's like, that makes Spyro 1 worse for a lot of people. But for me, like, I'm okay with that, you know? You take the good with the bad. It's just a preference. It's not that Spyro 1 is better or Spyro 2 is better. It's just I like the way speedrunning in Spyro 1 feels more than I like the way it feels in 2 and 3. Yeah, the movement in Spyro 2 is a lot of fun for sure. When you start double jumping around all over the place, it's fun. Am I gonna do another run? Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of hungry. I might like go eat some food real quick. I don't know if I have another run left in me. We'll see. I'm just telling you right now, I'm probably not going to be able to replicate this run right here. I'm just being honest. So yeah, I mean, you gotta find a game that you like the way it feels when you play it. You know, it's just that simple. It's like, you can give every fucking reason in the world for like, oh, I like this way, I like this game more than that one, but, you know, you play it, you like how it feels, and that's that, you know? That's... There's no use like sitting here in my chat being like, well, I think this mechanic is more floaty and doot-to-do. It's like, it's all just your preference. Halo games are really interesting speedruns because, again, there is no dash mechanic, but there are ways to like speed up in certain ways, like fucking doing like grenade boosting and fucking sword flying and shit. Have I speedrun the remaster? No, I don't speedrun any Spyro game except for Spyro 1. But I have done playthroughs of all the other Spyro games. You can check them out on my YouTube. Just type !Spyro 2, !Spyro 3, or !Reignited. On that note, guys, I'm gonna go eat some food. Feel free to keep discussing why Spyro 1 is better than the other Spyro games. I will be right back. Give me like 5-10 minutes. I do need to clear my head a bit before I decide what I'm gonna do next. So yeah, BRB.